Yeah.
I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one.
Yeah. Man.
I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. I'm David L. Rhodes. This is episode 814. This is the Indy Report, and I have Tariq Wilson. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I mean, it's championship week in the CAA, so we're gonna see how this goes this week.
Oh man, you have to pardon my ignorance, man. I have not been paying attention to that at all.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's been kind of hectic with everything, with all that other news that's been going on in the world, and with regards to what's going on the college athletics front, because a lot of things are swinging. So we'll have some discussions about that, because I know I only got you for half an hour, so let's go ahead and get the show rolling. Welcome to episode 814 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast, a show that's covering the HBCU sporting diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NAIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, David L. Rhodes, along with Tariq Wilson, Jeffrey Johnson, and Brandon King's on assignment. We are filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to our KCOH 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. Yeah, man, but before we get into some of these topics, I wanted to give a rest in power to Charlie Neal, world-renowned HBCU broadcaster, pretty much paved the way when it comes to it. He was doing HBCUGo coverage, broadcasting games on that network, and those games was going on a national scale. It would have been it would have been pretty dope. Battle HU had a legitimate opportunity for him to commentate that game, because it's scheduled to be on HBCUGo. And we'll probably discuss that as well. But what are your thoughts on Charlie Neal? He
goes back as far as I can remember. So I mean, it's he kind of set the stage. I can hear his voice right now, calling our game. So he's definitely a legend, and he'll be missed.
He absolutely will be missed. With it all started with BET, but then when BET made a decision to no longer do sports, he expanded it up at ESPN. He ended up commentating the first football game on the ESPNU. So shout out, because a lot of folks don't realize, like, the MEAC anchored that network. Contrary to what people think about ESPNU now, the MEAC anchored that network. Their games were the ones that were shown on that network during that period of time. But I wanted to give a rest in power to Charlie Neal. Did you see the HBCUGo schedule?
I did, man. It's at least Hampton has one game on there. Do y'all have one game on there?
We do not. We do not have a game, because there was no way. Like, the only option probably would have been if Norfolk didn't duck us. But outside of that, I think that's the only that was the only HBCU game we had at home, if I remember correctly. Besides Hampton. No, Hampton has no place.
What's that?
Hampton is that we playing you guys in Hampton.
Oh, yeah, man. I can understand, like, whenever we play a SWAC school or we talk smack about a SWAC school on our podcast, the engagement goes through the roof. So they watch and they pay attention more than the MEAC, so I can understand that. It's like when we played Jackson, man, that was crazy. Like, we had the most hits and listens that we ever had. I mean, it was insane.
Their fan base is engaged. There's no question about that regarding Jackson State. And the SWAC as a whole, their fan base is pretty engaged. Yeah. I will say, you guys having the game against Howard, I learned that I guess HBCUGo had to pay a bill had to pay the conference and Flow to get the rights to that game.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Wow. Because it's a home game for y'all. Mm. That's what makes it work, right? Same goes for like the school down the road. They're playing Texas Southern. It's a home game for Texas Southern. So they have an HBCUGo contract. So shout out to HBCUGo though. They got a pretty strong lineup considering.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because ESPN typically gets the first dibs, and then you got to have games for SWAC TV. But then to get the lineup that they got was pretty impressive to say the least. So shout out to HBCUGo with regards to that.
Yeah, I remember somebody told me, involved with Hampton last year. Same with A&T, especially playing on CAA. Every now and then, one of our games will be broadcast in some small market. Not even where a lot of Black folks live, but people watch. Like when our games come on TV, people watch. They're like, "Oh, Black people!" Like, especially.
Well, I mean, if you 70% of the folks who watch the Celebration Bowl, it ain't us. It's white folks watch that joint. Like you got to be able to get the casual base. I mean, it's important. You got to get the ones who are just channel flipping, or I don't know if we call it stream flipping or what do we want to call it for folks who stream. But you got to have those type of eyeballs with regards to that. So
that's awesome, man. Now, why all those games for FAMU? I mean, does FAMU still move the needle?
They do. They're still a brand, and that's what I said. I mean, somebody asked that question, and I said they're a brand, man. Like they're strong. They're one of the strongest HBCU brands out there, and ESPN can't take all the games.
That's true.
So they took a lot of the Jackson State games. So a lot of the Jackson State games are going to be on ESPN. But like you can't take all the games, and if you can't take all the games, then FAMU's getting a lot of them because FAMU wasn't that good last year.
Yeah,
and it's and to make matters even worse, they're ineligible for the championship. So but yeah, FAMU got on there a lot. So it's.
Do they still have the big D2 schedule? Because I know last year they had a lot of D2 games. So because sometimes I'll be chilling and I look on and it's CIAA. Now what's the other one? Not the CIAA, but the like Albany State. Like
SAIC.
They play a lot of SAIC games, and those are good games.
Yeah, I mean they typically play this year they only have one because they're playing Albany State. And they're going to play South Carolina State for the Orange Blossom Classic. That's going to be on ESPN. I think it's going to be ESPN2 most likely. They play Miami. Like they got a nice little gauntlet at the beginning of the season. Like they got a 4-day stretch where they play South Carolina State and Miami. They play South Carolina State on the 6th. Then they got to play Miami on the 10th. And then
after that, wait, who?
FAMU.
Oh, okay, okay.
So they play Albany State. They play Albany State on the 29th of August. Then a week later, they play South Carolina State. And then 4 days after that, they play Miami.
Wow.
And then they get 9 days for Tennessee State. So they only got one Division II on their schedule. So shout out to them.
Okay, that's improvement. Yeah, they just playing for love and vibes, no championships, right?
Well, yeah, this year's love and vibes.
Yeah.
Love and Vibes. Them and Valley. But Valley always plays for Love and Vibes. So like that's what Valley does.
Right. For the culture.
Yeah, so Adam, it's interesting when you talk about HBCUGo TV. Yeah, so they were showing the HBCU games up here in East Providence where I live. Like the CW. Like CW show the local affiliates. It's pretty much national. It's a really great deal. It would be great if we could figure out a way for like our schools to play those matchups on their television, on their network. I mean, Flow has been open to allowing certain things from a linear standpoint. You probably should, man. You probably should get like a Love and Vibes shirt.
That's all they play for.
Green. Yo, that is hilarious, Zach. Shout out to you, sir.
Nice.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right. But look, man, I'm gonna be very transparent when I say this. One other line of news that I want to bring up before we take our first break. So about a week or so ago, A&T and North Carolina State canceled their baseball game. Part of the reason why they made that decision was because it didn't really help North Carolina State at all, and they're trying to make the playoffs as an at-large bid. NCAA earlier this week released a letter reminding baseball teams to not just cancel games just to cancel them because it might impact your RPI. So I think the plan that North Carolina State had and other schools had with regards to avoiding opponents so it doesn't impact their RPI, that's faltering pretty viciously. I hope North Carolina State wins their tournament because I don't know if they're not going to make the NCAA tournament otherwise. So we'll see. I wanted to get your thoughts on that because my big perspective on it was like, when the college football playoff starts getting more serious with regards to who they're playing, that's going to be a thing with regards to like our opponents. I know you guys just started playing FBS, but I just want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's dirty. That's dirty. I mean, RPI is one thing, but almost everything, the gambling market has to be considered for everything as well. So I'm sure some people were pissed off.
Yeah, man. Somebody probably had a bet on the number of pitches that the North Carolina State starter was gonna get. Like, yeah, it is insane right now what you can bet on. Yeah,
sports don't like any surprises right now. No surprises. So that's kind of dirty. But it's state. I'm not surprised. Especially as it relates to us. Yeah, it's state, man.
Yeah, they're a piece of work. But I just wanted to bring that up because there was an update. Like I talked about it last week, but there was a little bit of an update regards with that.
Yep.
Lynn, I mean, how much would it cost for A&T to make the FCS playoff? Nah, it won't cost that much. I mean,
they say cost. What do you mean?
As in probably the budget for the football program, like for the NIL.
NIL and just sport, just about 15 mil.
Yeah,
about 15.
Yeah, I mean, because it's gonna cost us some money. You got to get the money for the scholarships. Then you're gonna have to pay the players. Yep. Like, we're gonna be up to about close to almost 90 scholarships. Well, I think they said close to 80 scholarships this year. We're slowly getting towards that 105, so we'll see how that goes. But all right, let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we'll probably talk. I'm gonna get Tariq to talk some track for a little while.
Okay.
We're gonna try. We're gonna see.
All right.
The track championships this weekend. SWAC's just ended, so we'll give you an update regards to that. And I think the MEAC is this weekend as well. So we'll get into some tracks. So we'll be right back after this first break.
I'll do my best.
I know you will, sir. I know you will.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
And we have to fund our kids in these colleges, and we have to make sure our kids have seats in these colleges.
And what about HBCUs? You mentioned.
Absolutely. You got to fund them all, and you've got to make sure they're properly funded. The real reason why I went after Comcast and Charter, it didn't have anything to do with my cable networks. It didn't. What happened was a gentleman wanted to do the Black College Sports Network in partnership with the HBCUs. And Comcast did not accept it. And that would have made a lot of money for these black colleges.
Absolutely.
And it would have educated the Black College Sports Network. This is what he wanted to do. That would have educated a lot of black kids. And when they didn't do that, that's when I came off the bench and said, okay, I'm going to light you up like a Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was the real reason why I got into it, was when I saw what happened with the Black College Sports Network, which I don't own. I just knew.
Why didn't you buy it?
I just knew. I just knew that these black.
I like that talk.
All right. I knew that these black colleges were going to benefit, and these black kids were going to get the education that they deserved and not have to pay.
There's a shot.
That might be.
It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Test the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to episode 814 to Dr. Cavil is inside the HBCU Sports Lab. So man, I want to give a shout out to the ladies of Florida A&M and the men of Jackson State. They won their respective track championships over the weekend. It closed out, I believe, yesterday. So shout out to them for getting that done. Not sure how many folks are going to qualify for nationals, but we shall see with regards to that. But the MEAC track championship starts tomorrow. And, you know, I know when we were in the MEAC, we were pretty much doing our thing on the track end of the spectrum, both the men and the women. But now it's been Howard and Norfolk State out here dominating that field. I expect the Howard women to win again. They probably might have the best women's program in all of HBCU. And I think I expect Norfolk to win again on the men's side.
Yeah, man, Howard's rolling, man. I mean, they're really competitive in many things now.
They are, man. That's why they're not leaving the MEAC. Why would they leave the MEAC? They just beat everybody else up. They just beat the Bulls.
That's right.
Yeah, like they'll be the Bulls.
What's that? Big fish, little pond.
Yeah. They just beat the bullies. They got NL money. They just do what they got to do, and they just keep winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. I wouldn't leave either.
Right.
But starting on Friday, man, our conference has their track championships. I will say this on the men's side, A&T should win it and repeat. Distance still scares me. The distance runners scare me because we still haven't like built up that bench with regards to the distance runners. But I will say next season, I don't think we're gonna be having that problem. We're starting to recruit on that side of the fence.
Yeah, but to say that's something. Now, what kind of distance runners are y'all recruiting? Are they like traditional A&T students, or y'all being multicultural?
I don't think we care. We want to win.
Okay. No, serious. Like, do a lot of, do we have a lot of strong black distance runners?
These other schools, for some reason, finds them. But
they right?
No, but here's like the school down the road got a pretty dang on good one. That's a brother. Mm-hmm. Like, I will say this. One thing I learned when it came to like recruiting in other sports, when it came to like tennis and things of the sort, there's a decent chunk of black kids that don't want to go. And they're not interested in going. Right. If they're local, they want to get out of the area. If they're not, they just, but I think it comes down to like the resources. Track shouldn't be as hard because we actually fund our track program pretty well. We fund our track program better than any other school in the CAA. So like we're not so we're not like falling short there. I can't speak for that for some of the other sports. Like the numbers show that we aren't funding it where we need to compete in the conference.
Right.
Yeah, I think the only concern I have about the men not repeating is the distance runner. But we should be fine as long as we execute with the sprinting and the field events. We should be okay. Because we're gonna have probably at least one person qualify for NCAAs. There's a chance we might have our 4x100 qualify, and there's a chance we might have our 4x400. And we got Jason Holmes. Jason Holmes is going to qualify for his hurling. So we're definitely going to get him qualified. But there's some other folks that got an outside shot that could potentially qualify for national.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed by your knowledge, man, of track.
Yeah, I try, man. And it's hard because I guess this is me to throw a jab at the CAA. They don't freaking show it on Flow unless A&T's hosting.
That's what I'm saying. I'm impressed.
Like they don't like I gotta dig in these archives for this data, man. I gotta find this data. Now on the women's side, I don't know who's gonna stop Elon, man. Elon has been on a tear for the past year and a half with regards to indoor and outdoor track on the ladies' side. I don't know who's gonna stop Elon.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Elon's got a very balanced team. They got sprinters, they got distance runners, they got field folks who can do all that stuff. They're very balanced. Hampton, I think the ladies and the Lady Aggies are about a year away. Hampton might give those guys some fits though.
Yeah.
But I think what's going to kill y'all is the lack of y'all going to have to do like 1, 2, 3 in the sprints. What's going to kill y'all is the distance running.
As always. Yeah.
That's what's going to kill y'all. The distance. The distance is going to kill y'all. You know? So it'll be fascinating to see. Hey, look, man, we got to still execute. I think if the men do what I expect them to do, we'll have the championship locked in by midday on the second day of the night. But then we also have to hope that we don't get like a crazy spread with regards to like the other sports. Like we can't have like all the Northeasterns doing well in the distance running and stuff like that. I think Northeast is probably one of our bigger threats. Them and Monmouth are our bigger threats.
How do y'all do?
You guys got
the other stuff.
You guys got a talented sprinter too.
Yeah.
Sprint program too. So like it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But right now, for the 110 hurdles on the men's side, Jason Holmes and Isaiah Taylor, both Aggies, they're like number 1 and 2 respectively on 110 hurdles. I anticipate both of them will probably qualify for nationals. But it'd be nice if both of them get another set of faster times going into this. So we'll see if they can qualify for that. 400 hurdles, we got some fast people. We got some fast ones there too. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Best of luck.
Yeah, not bad, man. You did all right.
I tried.
All right.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, I tried.
I don't want to talk about the other sports because we're struggling everywhere else, right? Like we're struggling in softball. Well, softball season's over. Shout out to the FAMU ladies for that too. I watched that game, man. That game was intense on SWAC TV. So shout out to them for getting it done and winning. And I don't know if they started playing the tournament yet. I know I believe Howard is playing Duke in the first round in the NCAA tournament. Don't shake your head, man. I mean, I think
bus ride. Short bus ride.
It's a short bus ride.
Is it a neutral site? Because I mean,
no, it's in Durham. You know it's in Durham. Okay. It's at Duke.
Oh,
you know it's in Durham.
Yeah. Well, at least they can go get some barbecue or something, man.
They should be able to win. Like it's double elimination, if I remember correctly. They should be able to win the second game when they play in the losers. I mean, they've beaten P5 programs this season.
They have, but this is a tough setup though. This is.
Yeah, I know it's Duke. Yeah, now Duke's good. Yeah. But one thing about softball is that the gap isn't as wide as some of the other sports are. You can clip somebody. So we'll see. That'll be interesting.
Yep.
Have you been I know you said you got to bounce halfway through the show, so I'm gonna go ahead and we'll get into the next topic real fast. Have you been paying attention to what's been going on with the S.C.O.R.E. Act?
No.
So to keep it So I guess the four HBCU conferences sent a letter to the sent another letter to the Congressional Black Caucus, hoping for them to vote for the S.C.O.R.E Act. The S.C.O.R.E Act, the ultimate goal from our perspective is to make sure that there's some level of stability in the college ranks, particularly to make sure that the college players aren't employees, and put some type of levers on that. My perspective, I think it's going to be very difficult for something like that to stick in court. But I had mixed feelings about it, only because like I'm for the players getting their money, but I think the way that it has been kind of crazy, to say the least.
It actually, for the fans, it sucks for me personally, but I'm happy that they're getting paid. But yeah, this is unsustainable.
Yeah, it's unsustainable. But I think the big concern I'm pretty sure that the HBCUs have is that they just don't have the money to pay these players, to keep them afloat. And I get it, but at the same time, it's like, all right, but we're Division I programs. Are we going to try to compete or not?
As someone said to me many years ago, if you have a business and you can't afford to pay employees, should you have the business?
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Well, look, man, and the prices aren't getting cheaper either.
Right. I mean, so we have to really consider, our business model, and if to stay in business, we have to treat them as amateurs. That's unsustainable either, because as we were talking in our group chat, some of our peers, they pay it. You know what I'm saying? So you can try to limit this all you want.
They are paying a enormous amount of money, and I question why they're paying so much. Just in our conference, not alone like if you just go just a group of 5 or something to that effect, like they're paying a exorbitant amount of money for players that might not necessarily get that much time in. So it's kind of wild to watch. But I remember when like but you know what the wild thing is about when we talk about the distance runners? Campbell not too long ago had like this distance runner from Africa. And I mean, he was legit, made it to nationals, whole 9 before they cut the legs under the track program with funding. They had a really good track program, and they were getting these cats from Africa. And I'm wondering, like, yo, how the heck are you convincing these folks to go to Blues Creek?
Right.
Like, there's nothing there.
Yeah, but because I lived relatively close there for a number of years, they had some inroads into the motherland, and I forgot what that was. But that doesn't surprise me that they were able to recruit that dude. But what's your take on the S.C.O.R.E Act? Because I think the schools have to find a way to collectively bargain with the athletes and give them contracts for stability. That's the only way forward, I see.
I agree with you, but I think the problem is that our schools don't. And it's probably true. They feel like they can't afford it.
Well, let me ask you the question again. If you can't afford it,
I look, man. I like when we're talking about revenue sharing. Revenue sharing ain't there for us. Most of us aren't making revenue.
Right.
So like, so at that point, where are you getting this money from? Unless you're getting it straight from your alumni, and there's going to be a point where the alumni is going to get sick of paying these kids.
Man, we're already there.
You think we're there? I don't think we're there yet, because some of us haven't even started. So how you going to be there if you ain't started yet?
Now, Hampton's, they're a collective that that funds some of these things, and it's sticky actually, from what I could tell. But yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. Very difficult. I mean, the real thing is that they have to. This is all one big entity. That's why the bigger schools are going to eventually split off so they can keep all the revenue. What really needs to happen is NCAA schools need to all combine as one and split the big revenue pie. So that's what's eventually going to have to happen. But before that happens, they're going to split off. and then that's when we're gonna have our.
We're gonna be poor.
Yeah.
Like think about it, man. Like what? Like here's the kicker. And when they do split off, the key is going to be March Madness. Like if they take March Madness with them, the NCAA version of March Madness without the P4 and the Big East ain't much of March Madness.
That's true.
It's just not. And even
maybe
though
football can become its own thing. That's what they also talked about. Football is its own entity.
But isn't football already its own entity? That's why we have FBS. Like it kind of is already.
Yeah.
Like I think what the problem is that they want it to be even smaller than it already is. Like they already have FBS, and now they want to make it. We're just gonna have the SEC and the Big Ten, and the rest of you guys, good luck.
Yeah,
I have a feeling the SEC and the Big Ten are going to leave everybody else to dry.
Well, two things I'll say about that. For one, for folks who are paying attention to the Supreme Court ruling that led to all this mess, I mean, Kavanaugh, who's kind of spearheading this thing of all people, basically told NCAA, "Don't come back to court. You ain't gonna like the ruling, like because you're already like questionable free market for practices, right? One, number two, have you seen because you said the SEC schools they got the money. Have you seen the online because of all the redistricting and all the nonsense where people are like, "Hey, brothers, consider."
Yeah, man, I'm gonna do a whole. I'm gonna do like half of my. I'm doing a show after this, and we're gonna discuss that with the S.C.O.R.E actors in one big topic. But here's my thing about the SEC. They are who they are. They've never changed. They've always been this way. But the dilemma, and the thing is, before the Supreme Court ruling regarding NIL and things of that sort, those kids were already getting paid under the table anyway.
Yeah.
Now it's just in front of your face. Now you know that they're getting paid, and it's not a secret.
And more.
And they're getting paid much more than when it was the bag man at this point, right? So I think, it's easy to say, walk away from all this. But I think an easier solution, because the reality is they're not going to walk away. We don't know everybody's circumstances with regards to where they're at. Like some of them legitimate, like the Panthers just drafted a kid that had to transfer because he had a baby and he had to take care of his family. So he went to another school that was going to pay him more. I can't be mad at a kid doing something like that, no matter how I feel about a particular institution. So I can't be mad at a student athlete doing something like that. So, but the thing that we as consumers, because a lot of our culture are the ones that watch this stuff. Turn the dang on TV off, guys.
Yeah.
But I know that's very difficult to do. Just watch your squads. Watch your HBCU. But I know that's very difficult to do.
Hey, that's me. That's all I watch.
I mean, that's all I watch. Like, it's funny. Like, I cover the Panthers, right? And so, like, my buddy Rashad, my partner, he loves big college sports. He loves that stuff. So he watches it all the time. I don't watch P4 FBS football like that. I just don't. Like, I don't. So they'll ask me questions about players, and I'm like, I gotta look them up. I don't know. And they look at me like I'm crazy, but I don't know. I was like, I can talk about these FCS guys. I can't talk to you too much about the FBS guys. I just don't. I can't.
Yeah, man.
I know who we should go in after. Oh, and G Boone, I know the NCAA don't run the FBS playoffs. I'm talking about, but when it comes to March Madness, that brings more money to HBCUs than the Celebration Bowl does.
Yeah.
Especially if you get a couple wins on your belt. Them units are eternal. They're going to last like 6 or 7 years. Like that's the thing that we have to. That's the thing that we have to try to hold on to dear life, because a lot of institutions depend on that money. Depend on it.
Yeah. Well, as they expand the field, hopefully it doesn't dilute our chances.
With them expanding the field means it's pretty much a guarantee that the HBCUs are going to be playing in a playing game every year. Yeah. You're talking the 16s and half the 15s at this point are all going to be playing.
Except if somehow one of our schools could win a CAA.
Yeah, and it would probably be a 14 or a 13 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, folks don't understand math, G Boom. I can't fix folks that don't understand math. You merge two conferences, that means you're getting one unit to share between more schools. Can't do it.
Right.
You can't do it. Right now, there's an opportunity for 4 HBC, like 21 HBCUs to get a unit, get money between 4 conferences.
Right.
Like, nah, man, you can't. I will say though, with the CAA, they haven't won a game in the tournament since we've been in the conference. They haven't won it NCAA. Well, the women have, but that was before units.
Right.
But the men have not.
Hofstra was pretty highly ranked this year too, right? Like
They got a
12?
13. Now they got a 14 or a 13 seed, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
But any of the top 3 teams in the CAA, whoever would have won that tournament was going to get a high enough seed, like get a 14 or a 13 seed. Because Charleston, UNCW, and Hofstra would beat some legitimate opponents this year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I know as you say that, UNCW not winning the tournament impacted Hampton's spot because Hampton beat them. So like that would have showed more strength to their schedule if Howard beat them.
Yeah.
That would have shown more strength to their schedule if UNCW would have went on and won the whole thing instead of being one and done in the tournament. Yeah, but nah, when we talk about merging conferences, man, I'm not for it. Like, I don't think it makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
unless you have a path to FBS, it makes zero sense.
I mean, we can have a tighter pact. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that we fill our schedules with each other. But yeah, merging, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a whole different discussion, man. I was told that. And it's not just in basketball and football, in all sports. Like we got to do better when it comes to that. Because I think we can do way better than what we currently do with regards to that. So we'll see.
Yep. Damn, man. Hey, I gotta take off, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna close out the show because I got a couple things I got to get done before my next show. Yeah, and that is right. We did beat Hofstra. I don't know who we're gonna beat right now, man. We only got 1 forward right now on our roster and got like 10 guards.
Hey, we got no bigs.
We got 2 centers. We got 2 bigs. We got 2 bigs, and we just signed a small forward, but everybody else is guards.
Yeah, man, that's us.
We're gonna be out here playing 3 guards and 2 centers out in the court.
Yeah, well, we're gonna play 4 guards and a wing.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close out the show. Give me 1 second to get the outro rocking.
And bigs are expensive, man.
Oh well, I told you.
by a good 800,000. 800,000 for a good big.
We had one of our guards got almost $1 million from Central Florida.
Yeah, man.
Like these players ain't cheap, man. But you know what I'm waiting for, and I'm gonna do the outro. But you know what I'm curious to see if more of this happens? When they start sitting out these tournaments, that's when it's gonna get interesting. Like when you see more players sit out, when the college football playoff continues to expand, you see more players sit out during the playoffs, then you see more players that are in NCAA tournament size to sit out and reduce their minutes. That's where it's going to get fascinating. When you see more and more players doing that, then it's going to then you're going to have different questions regarding like who's the best teams and things of that sort.
Be true.
All right. Make sure you guys check out the ONG Strike Zone. They're coming up next at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. But thank you for listening to Inside HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends or colleagues. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at champd1012. Go to hupowership.com and check out the podcast while they cover Hampton, while Tariq and Jeff covers Hampton athletics. Like I said, we'll look forward next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Make sure you follow Dr. Kenyatta Cavil on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook, and Inside the HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big and continue to move forward. We'll talk to you soon. Reek,
Course.
lecture, dismissed. See you guys next week. Actually, no, we're not going to see you next week. I'm not going to be here. So we'll see you guys 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
Peace.
Peace.